really good friend. Let's welcome Mr. Chris D.
Wanna be a baller, shot collar, 20-inch blades on the Impala. Collar getting laid tonight. Fuck! A swisher roll tight, got sprayed with ice. I hit the highway, making money the flyway. Well, there's got to be a better way, a better way, better way. Yeah! You guys ever smoke weed the whole way here? You just smoke the whole way here, just the whole way here. The whole way here, you try out for Tookie's rap band, and you don't make it. The whole way here. And then for 12 consecutive years before that, just here we are. We're here. I smoke a lot of weed. And almost exclusively in my car while driving. And that's also where I like to listen to a lot of rap music, like Lil Troy. And that gets dangerous. Because, like, you guys know how many rap songs feature the sound of a siren? It's like fucking all of them. I'm throwing weed out of my window every 30 seconds. It's a waste of weed, Biggie. I get into weird situations when I'm high a lot. I was taking the T a few weeks ago, and that's a thing. It's the subway system, Red Line, and it's super crowded train. And I was hanging onto the handrail, and I looked down at a man seated right here, and I noticed that he is reading Adolf Hitler's Mein Kampf on a Kindle, which I thought was pretty funny. I was like, wow, what a progressive Nazi. And I just started laughing to myself. And then the train just abruptly stopped out of nowhere, screeching home. And I was like hanging onto the handrail pretty loose. And you guys know the loops that hang down? Well, like I slipped off the rail trying to catch myself in the loop. My hand just went straight through the loop. At this exact moment, the man looks up and he sees me doing this. And he winked at me. He looked right at me, he was like, and I was like, no. This guy thinks I'm a Nazi, I gotta do something quick. And then he winked at me again. And we went on 2 dates. He wouldn't take 9 for an answer. He takes 1 clap. Take it easy. I see weird stuff on the T. I saw an ad for something called 811. Has anybody ever heard of 811? No? Perfect. 811 is a thing called Dig Safe. Before you're doing any digging, they want you to call this number so you won't hit pipes and power lines and important stuff that's buried. And I was like looking at this sign one day and I was like, why would they pick 811 when it's so close to 911, right? Like, what if you're in a real emergency and somebody's in your house, they're coming after you, you're just running for your life, and you reach for any phone you can grab, and you just accidentally hit 8. I had to give these guys a call. I called them up and I was like, he's in my house, he's trying to kill me! And they're like, oh, this is 811, you're looking for 911! Oh no! And then I had a fake gunshot go off and just hung up. Yeah, pretty good. I called them back. coming back 10 minutes later, I just said, yeah, I need to dig a hole. That's good. This guy unfolded his arms to clap for that, so you're wrong. And he's right. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a Greek American. I was born in America. Both my parents, they're Greek immigrants. And that was like a weird childhood growing up, because like I was kind of a mischievous kid and I always wanted to have fun, but my dad put a stop to it real quick. I want to share this little story. This was April Fool's Day. And it's April Fool's Day. I was 10 years old. This is about 98. My older brother, he's 13. And my brother and I, we knew that every single day when my dad got home from work, he would go to the kitchen sink and get a glass of water. Every single day, he'd get home, kitchen sink, glass of water. So my brother's like awesome prank idea was like, you guys know that the hoses that you can spray your dishes with? Okay, don't respond, perfect. My brother just scotch taped the button down on that hose. So like when my dad would get his water, he'd flip it on, he'd get sprayed, we'd all laugh, and that'd be it. And that was not it. That wasn't it at all. So my brother and I, we're like so excited, and we're waiting for my dad to get home. We're sitting at the kitchen table, and we're doing our homework. And my dad comes in, and he's very happy to see us. He's like, hey, my boy, so happy to see you. I'm very Greek. This is how Greek people talk, Beautiful day today. And he flips the water on, right? And he's talking to me and my brother over here. And I don't know if this man can't perceive wetness. But he's just being sprayed for like 15, 20 seconds solid. Like there's water everywhere at this point. And my brother and I are just like trying to contain ourselves. And then my dad realizes what's happening and he just reacts like he got hit with acid. Lost his mind. He came charging right after me because I'm the funny one. And shut up. And he came right after me and I go, no, it wasn't me, it was James! James did it, it was James! And then my dad, I've never seen my dad move this fast in my life. Like he went after my brother and like put him in some kind of Greek karate move or something, right? Like he grabbed the back of his neck and then his left wrist and like bent it back and put him in a half rack of lamb. Right? He just like put my brother right into a half rack. And he drags him over to the kitchen sink. There's a big puddle of water all over the counter. And my dad just pushes my brother's face into a puddle of water and starts screaming, lick it up! Lick it up! Now this is the funniest thing 10-year-old Chris has ever seen in his young life. I'm just laughing my ass off. My brother's laughing his ass off. My dad is screaming like a maniac, lick it up! And then my brother, he looks at me and he sends me a silent brother-to-brother message. He looks right at me, he just goes. And then I go. Now what he conveyed to me there was that I better go get rid of my prank. Because what I did was I put saran wrap on all the toilets. Yeah, I'm not gonna lick that up. Growing up with my dad was tough, man. It's because of my dad that I stopped believing in Santa Claus when I was 5. Really for 2 reasons. One, my dad hates milk. So on Christmas Eve, he'd be like, oh, Christopher, did you put the baklava and whiskey out for Santa Claus? My mom would be like, I think Santa Claus has had enough whiskey. No, I'll tell you when he's had enough. tone it down. I will not. The second reason I stopped believing in Santa Claus was I could always tell how upset my dad got that some mythical being was getting credit for all of his purchases. So on Christmas Day, my dad would be like, "Oh, Christopher, what did Santa Claus bring you? For $99.95! You waited for 3 hours at Toys R Us! After you worked for 12 hours in his workshop cooking pizza!" You guys ever shower with your dad? Oh, I'm weird! I'm not talking about yesterday. Like when you were a little kid. Like statistically, you probably did. About 38% of you did. I did the research. And you wouldn't remember them. You wouldn't remember it. Why would you remember it? The thing about me is I have a great memory. It's like a fucking curse. I showered with my dad ages 2 to 4. I remember all of it. Just think about that. I was only this tall. So you guys know the only water that I was getting. I had my own shower head and I was just right. My dad's like, "Lick it up!" Hey, I'm Chris D. You guys have